Welcome to Cats and Rats Podcast, covering your Florida Panthers.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of the Cats and Rats Podcast, episode number 60, Jose Theodore episode. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo, joined alongside, as always, my co-hosts, Cody Stevens and Nick Levine. Gentlemen, I think the Panthers have got off to a pretty good start here this season, especially on home ice, undefeated now, heading off for some road games here. Cody, Nick, whoever wants to start first, how pleased are you with the Florida Panthers start to the season?
I'll throw it to our boy Nick to start here.
Very pleased overall. I said after the first week, following the Ottawa Senators game on that Saturday, that it looks like we're not missing anybody. I've said multiple times, Kirby, that looks like we're in a month or two into the season. Like we've just been picking up where we left off. It doesn't look like we're missing anybody. Every single facet of our game, from the neutral zone to effort, that was one of the things you would feel that early on in the season, coming off the Stanley Cup, maybe some of the energy level in certain games would be not as high as it's been, especially following the first game. But the effort has been there. The tactical, I know they use this term a lot, masterclass. I mean, it really has been on all parts. When you take a look at, if you ask teams around the NHL, how did the Florida Panthers play? This is it. It's been quintessential Florida Panther hockey over the last week. I mean, I'm thrilled, honestly. I mean, I thought we were really going to struggle, and everything from our forecheck to the puck support to how certain individuals are playing, certain guys stepping up on different nights. Our blue line and Sergei Bobrovsky. I mean, this is the best I've seen our defense play, and I don't even, maybe ever. And Sergei Bobrovsky is just locked and dialed in. Obviously, a tough loss to Philadelphia. We'll break that down a little bit later, but I don't know how you can't be just ecstatic with how we played, especially considering who's not in the lineup.
Cody, just to jump in, Nick said something there, and if you guys are over on our YouTube channel side, he said we're not missing anybody. I think if it's Nick's right shoulder, because the camera's flipped here, we're missing that guy, captain number 16 there, Aleksander Barkov. Cody, we're missing
my left, but go ahead.
Your left? Okay, it's not flipped. Okay, I didn't know. I thought it would be flipped. Cody?
But for me, if I had to give it out of 10, I'm probably around 8.8, 8.5, whatever the case may be. As Nick said, I mean, there's a lot of things to like, especially the special team side. Penalty kill has not a lot of power play goal as of yet through 3 games.
We're going to allow one on Tuesday and on Wednesday now that Cody just said that.
Hey, listen, I'm still correct. We're going to allow one eventually.
Yeah,
I mean, the power play looks pretty good. I mean, power play goals in the first 3 games, first time since 2002, I believe the Panthers have done that.
Okay, we're going to get into the special teams.
The one thing is just, I wish we were better in the faceoff dot, 45% to kind of start off the year. Kind of need to be better in that situation, especially with but that was the one thing we all kind of expected to be down without Aleksander Barkov, one of the best faceoff men in the NHL, who essentially led the playoffs last year on faceoff win percentage for the players who played all 4 rounds. And
I got a faceoff number later, Cody, when we get into the special teams.
And I like certain individuals to start the year. Mackie Samoskevich to start. I mean, he's popped every game we've played so far. He's been using his speed, seems to have gained some strength in the offseason, not getting pushed off his pucks is easy, and a lot better along the boards. I've liked him. Anton Lundell has been phenomenal to start the year. And what more can you say about Brad Marchand at this point? Just the ageless wonder that is Brad Marchand. And the one surprising thing, and that was my question mark going in, was how is Aaron Ekblad going to look to start the year? And he's looked damn good. I mean, his skating has gotten better the last 2 years now. It doesn't seem like as slow as he has been. Moving pretty well in the power play. That power play goal versus Ottawa, I mean, Kirby, you love that power play goal. Just kind of moving around and then picks his spot. And Ekblad has the ability to pick his spots. Like, in my opinion, he has the best wrist shot, one of the better wrist shots in the NHL for defensemen. But on the other side is the one guy you're kind of hoping more from is Sam Bennett at this point. I mean, it's nothing to do with the goals or the assists. It's just the little things. It's just got to be better in the face-off dot. I mean, I think he was like 30% 2 of the games to start here. That's not going to be good enough throughout. And on Philly, where he scored a goal, which thankfully Benny's buddies, another dog gets adopted. But then after that makes two bad plays. I mean, the slashing penalty that killed all momentum Florida had in the comeback. And then out of the box just goes Tasmanian Devil, hits Couturier, and then beelines to the back of the net where Zegras makes a hell of a play and finds Couturier.
And Ekblad was behind there already trying to cover Zegras, which he got tied up because of the whole Bennett.
Yeah, and I think you're going to need a guy, obviously, for puck support there. I'm not really sure. I'd have to go rewatch it more intently to see what happened on the play. But kind of like you said, Cody, I mean, with the $8 million deal, becomes more expectations regardless of Barkov being in the lineup or not being in the lineup, right? And I know people say, oh, it's a playoff guy. Well, we're going to need a little bit more than just playoff performances right now. And we're asking more of everybody. It's not an ideal situation we're in. I think over the course of the first week and a half or so, we've done a pretty exceptional job when it comes to doing what we do best and kind of simplifying our game. One of the things that Kirby we were talking about a little bit off air was the power play. Obviously, it scored a number of power play goals this year, doing quite well. I think we're in the 40% at around 40%, a little higher than that. Is a lot of our chances and goals are being generated off the rush. They're not coming off set zone plays. A lot of the times, particularly, I remember Anton Lundell. That was with 8 seconds left on the power play, and it was a quick up the ice. It works, but is it sustainable is really the question. You can't be losing the face-off, having to go down the ice. You lose a key guy in the face-off in Barkov, and if you already lose a face-off guy, well, what was the other thing he was really good at, Kirby? Zone entries. We're starting to see those are the two biggest areas we're missing it right now. And I think it hasn't showed in the results on our power play. But I mean, I think you look at it, there's been some times where they've snapped the puck around, particularly the second unit, and they've looked really good. But I think that one of the things we're going to have to do as the season moves along, and I think some certain guys return to the mean, particularly I'm talking further down the lineup, is that's going to be a point of emphasis we're really going to need to hone in on, because it may work. I mean, it worked last year in the playoffs, but I'm a little concerned about the sustainability of how we're generating chances and scoring on the power play. And, we're
going to get into that in a bit.
Yeah. So, and again, it starts with face-off. You wonder, what can Paul Maurice exactly do when it comes to, or Jamie Compton, not just personnel? Is there a shift in strategy? We haven't seen.
There's a lot of guys taking face-offs. Reinhardt's taking more. Erod's playing center, so therefore he's taking more.
I would even consider Carter Verhaeghe. Carter Verhaeghe, I remember, takes a number of face-offs throughout the course of the year. He always does well in them. He used to play center. I think two things I would do on the power play. One, obviously, the Reinhardt bumper play teams are going to hone in on. They know that's the play. But also, I wouldn't mind seeing guys like Jones and Ekblad, moving that puck up at the top of the zone and ripping it through. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to get maybe double traffic in front, Reinhardt in front, Bennett right in front of the net. But I think I would like to see a little bit more variation with zone time. I'm really concerned about that because I'm looking for two things. One,
I'm going to get to the special teams in a second, so we'll save that.
The bottom six, I don't know how much longer it can keep up, particularly guys like Jesper Boqvist and Maki Samoskevich. I think we're going to have to move some things around there too. But very pleased with the first week or so. But you could kind of see some certain things weren't clicking, particularly against Philadelphia.
Mackey can move up.
Yeah, Mackey can move up, but I like that line as a whole right now. I like the way Boqvist kind of started the year a bit. Erod's been pretty good. That line brings something the Panthers haven't really had in the last number of years, which is an all-speed line, and they've gotten chances every game we played. And it's not necessarily they're getting dominated on the other end, giving up chances. They're looking pretty good. I don't feel the need to switch them right now. Maybe in about 10 games, maybe we'll see.
That's what I'm, anticipating. That's looking ahead.
But that's any year.
I want to jump in two things that Cody talked about, the defense and Brad Marchand. I'm going to push back on the defense a little bit. I like how they've really played, Nick. Now you're saying the best you've seen in forever. We'll see. Still early sample size. Problem I'm having with the D, only one slight problem. They got to get more shots through. Ekblad's one guy. Like, I need more shots to get through. We're getting a lot of shots blocked. And we have guys, when we get into our power play discussion here, they're in front of the net layered. Like, even though we don't got Tkachuk right now in the lineup, even though we don't got a big body like Barkov that can take up one or two defenders, we have guys in front of the net. Brad Marchand, Anton Lundell, we're getting deflection goals. We got to get more pucks through to be able to create more traffic and more havoc on these goalies who've got off to a great start on us. Dan Vladar in 2 starts. Who else am I forgetting? Spencer Knight was really good.
Not Allmark, but
yeah, not Allmark. So these are goalies that we faced and have played really good. We got to create a little bit more. We are creating traffic and havoc. We got to get more shots through. The second thing you guys commented on a little bit earlier that I wanted to add to, Brad Marchand. Right now, Leafs Nation, Leafs media is upset. They're like, look at what Brad Marchand is doing for the Florida Panthers with players out of the lineup. The Toronto Maple Leafs, we want to make excuses because we don't have Mitch Marner here anymore. Brad Marchand is leading by example. We need players like that. So I think Brad Marchand has been so big to this team to start the season. We talked about Sam Bennett struggling a bit to start the year. You got a guy like Brad Marchand right there, and you're asking him to do more, which I didn't want that to be the case this year. But you have no other choice, Nick and Cody, when Barkov.
Yeah, but this is one of the few times where you're like, okay, you're okay with asking him to do more. It's not that we're asking him to do more because of another player's poor performance or whatever. We're asking him to do more because of injury. Yeah, and this is the year to do it because he's still Brad Marchand.
I think he looks dynamic. I said, home opener. I mean, he was incredible. I mean, noticeable. I mean, the skating. He's 37 years old. He looks like he's 27, right? I mean,
I haven't seen this many breakaways since Pavel Bure. I joked on
right. I mean, he looks just incredible. Like he's turned back the clock, right? I mean, we were thinking of a third line complementary player, how dominant he was last year. I mean, he is giving teams fits this year, and overall over the first week, 3-1-0, and he looked pretty dominant in the games we've won. Tough loss against Philadelphia, but very pleased with how we've played. And looking ahead here, I mean, one of the things here is we have a lighter schedule at the start. We need to be banking these points, and for the most part, we've done that. I had a chance to do it again against Philly, but I mean, you've done everything that you couldn't ask for anything else, anything more from this group or what they're facing right now.
Yeah, but the Philly game, let's be real, they played phenomenal. I mean, we just got to give credit to the Flyers.
And it was a home opener too. I think that's another underrated part. A lot of these teams haven't played their home opener yet. There's a lot of energy in the building. New coach Rick Tocchet, I think he's doing some good things there. Dan Vladar an upgrade in net. So I mean,
Vladar's entering Thomas Greiss territory for me.
Oh gosh,
like backup goalie that kind of kills you. He's starting to turn into that because he had the Panthers when he was in Calgary. Like that hasn't changed. So
it goes both ways. Sometimes Panther players, they have the numbers of the other team. Sometimes guys have numbers to us.
It's usually just a random backup goalie on us for some reason. I don't get it for the life of me. But
it used to be role players, JJ Pageau, other guys like that down the list, which a guy I would like to maybe target with the Panthers are moving forward. We'll probably get into that in another podcast when we learn like a little bit more of what we have internally, like Cody and I talked about on the last podcast episode, and what we have moving forward. We're still in that process of finding out here.
It's just a bit like where Barkov's at with his rehab, because we have no idea. I mean, the man had his knee brace off and walked behind in a Brad Marchand interview and walked completely backwards. So we have no idea what.
Kirby, do you want to rain on everybody's parade again? What? Sorry? Do you want to rain on everyboody parade again right now?
Well, you guys did see this tweet. I tweeted it out. Don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but I heard he did have something underneath his pant leg. From someone that is in our community that was there that caught it. So, but yeah, like it's still looking good. Like walking around, getting his ring there without the aid of crutches or anything like that. So it's great. Barkov's wanting to make that push, into when the calendar year turns into February and March here. We'll see. But yeah, we're so far away from that, guys. Let's go to our next topic here. We want to dive into the special team numbers and not just what we're seeing with this early sample size. But guys, I know you're bringing some numbers to the table and to our audience of what this has looked like under the Paul Maurice era. Also some split stats, how we have started other seasons. And again, we don't have Barkov, we don't have Tkachuk. Barkov is playing on our power play and our PK, and Tkachuk is a big piece to our power play. So how is this looking? What are our feelings, our thoughts here? Whoever wants to start.
So we'll go back and analyze the last 4 years ever since Paul Maurice came in. Panthers, Paul Maurice's first season, they started 5-3-1, particularly in the power play and penalty kill area, 9.8% on the power play. I think we all remember being highly critical of Maurice and company during that time. That was following the Tampa Bay Lightning loss, the sweep in particular, when we couldn't score a power play goal. We were 9.8% that first month, so it didn't look much better right away. 74.8% on the penalty kill. That was we had a lot of talk about penalty kill that first year.
It wasn't aggressive enough.
Yeah,
It wasn't aggressive enough, not aggressive enough to the puck. There were new guys coming in, obviously. Brandon Montour had not established himself fully as the power play quarterback yet. I know they had tried, I believe, Aaron Ekblad and Gustav Forsling at different points there, and the Ekblad injury to start obviously hindered the penalty kill. Mark Stahl also there, Mahura, who doesn't usually pay penalty kill. So, and it's a first-year coach. Year two is when I think, again, you take a look at this, the drastic kind of jump happens from a whole season. But again, not in the first month. 14.3% power play in the first month of our Stanley Cup one, our first Stanley Cup season, when we beat Edmonton in 7 games. 14.3% on the power play to start that month. And on the penalty kill side, it was 67.9%, actually worst the year.
I want to jump in. That's when Brandon Montour was out. So your quarterback on the power play was out. OEL was out. I'm going to say OEL's best play during that first month was not on the power play. It was 5-on-5. And Cody, we didn't have Ekblad for the penalty kill. So if you want to look
and I remember vividly, our penalty kill looked a lot better, but we kind of just kept getting scored on it. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I think we lost to Minnesota, recalling correctly.
We got shut out Minnesota.
5-on-3 goal. I think it was an empty net power play goal or something like that, right? There were a lot of extenuating circumstances, and, this 67.9% wasn't really reflective of how the penalty kill was playing at the time.
Do you agree with that, Cody?
Which one?
That was not reflective, that number of what Nick just said.
I remember being pretty pleased with how it looked. And there were some unfortunate bounces or whatever.
But were we settling? Because we also had a lot of turnover that year. Because remember, Erod started on PP1 to start that. Because if I remember correctly, we got shut out Minnesota, lost in Winnipeg, won in New Jersey, and then beat Toronto in the home opener. And once again, that was a lot of roster turnover there too.
Well, it takes a little while. And
we had the injuries from the 2020.
And I remain
because Mikula was new, Kulikov was new, OEL was new. Then on
Mahura and Balinskis didn't play penalty kill.
And then the PK, Stenlin was new. I think Lorentz may have played a bit then too. I'm trying to think.
I think Erod might have even started a little bit on the penalty kill there too. But I mean, you kind of take a look at it. Later on that season, we went to go win our first Stanley Cup, and the penalty kill was one of, if not the biggest reason, differentiating circumstances why from past years. But I think we talked about
just to jump in, Nick. That was personnel and then scheme starting.
Personnel and scheme, and people like to talk about how we went like 1 for 31 on the power play against Tampa. Penalty kill, I think, was a much bigger problem there. So that's the second year. Paul Maurice's third year. Panthers 7-3-1 to start. 24.1% on the power play, 87.1% on the penalty kill, picking right where they left off in the Stanley Cup final. Almost 25% on the power play. And this is actually with Uvis Balinskis, his power play quarterback, and formerly
Adam Boqvist,
the former Panther. And I don't remember us having much success with either of Ekblad to start the year or Boqvist. And remember, Nate Schmidt wasn't in the lineup to start the year, so he wasn't even involved in the mix. Where Ekman Larson the year prior was. Uvis Balinskis really did a nice job early on in the year.
Ekblad didn't really necessarily start getting going on the power play till around December or January, right around there. That's when the power play kind of like looked better, at least the first unit did. And then that's when Schmidt started getting – because Schmidt was just this the entire year. He got better as the year went along because training camp, half the fan base wanted to cut him.
And then he went in – then he became arguably the Stanley Cup final. I mean, top 3 player in the Stanley Cup final for us, right?
So, Cody, you're saying Ekblad was in there December, January last year, and then we get Jones. It was Jones in February, right?
Yeah. Because like we got Jones like late February, early March.
Okay.
Because I think it was
after the Four Nations.
It was after Four Nations because remember we played 3 games. But that's when Ekblad got dinged for the suspension. So
Best 3 games I've ever seen still to this day.
Like, that's, I don't know, but like concerning this year's power play and penalty kill, I mean, penalty kill has been flawless to start.
100%.
I mean, our best play against Philly was shorthanded. And like at some points you want to sit there like, can we just stay shorthanded the whole time? Because that's when our best scoring chances came from.
I tweeted out that funny kid, and I've got a little Panthers hat on him. I'm like, when you play your best game when you're shorthanded, what's going on here?
And
like,
as part of the early season here for the Panthers, obviously not through even the first full month of the season yet, 35.3% on the power play, 100% on the penalty kill. I mean, self-explanatory, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of those games are on home ice. We'll see as we go forward this week on the road how those numbers reflect.
And, and as of this recording, we're about to head to the second game against the renowned Detroit Red Wings. So hopefully,
the hottest, the Vezina winner through a week and a half, Cam Talbot.
Yeah, I've only heard till summer was John Gibson's going to change them, and it's the guy that was on their roster last year. So I found that to be a little bit odd.
Cam Talbot was good last year too.
Like, yeah, he's not a bad goalie. He really isn't.
If he was available, I would have loved to get him for a backup.
But I mean, 35% of the power play, 100% of the penalty kill. Yeah. I'm interested to see that. And again, we were talking about the power play earlier.
Yeah, I want to get into some of that minutia or whatever you want.
There's one change.
Good word, I think. Again, worried about the sustainability of the power play, obviously. It's good that we're scoring goals. You're going to need to find opportunities like that off the rush, off broken plays, particularly.
But that's coming from the second power play unit a lot.
Yes.
Because the first power play unit is losing the draw, and they're not getting as much zone time. So when the second unit comes out, they're creating a lot off the rush.
There's one change
sustainable
I want to make on the first power play. One.
Can I guess what it is?
Let me see. Let's see.
Okay, Lundell for Bennett.
No, because I don't think that's going to happen yet. Because I don't think it's going to happen because the second unit looks really good.
I got a guy he wants to throw in there. I want to throw.
I'm not changing anyone in and out. I'm not doing that.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about position switches in the zone.
Okay, go ahead.
I want Bennett in the bumper and Reinhardt up top. Because, and I'll explain why. When Bennett's at his best, he's near the blue paint. When the majority of his goals in the playoffs came near the blue paint. He's a good cleanup artist, and he's a good net front presence.
But because things break down in the playoffs, and he's able to improvise off of that. He's not able to do that in the regular season with how the open ice is and what is given to you.
Yeah, but I want him closer to the net because that's where he's at his best. And I'm kind of tired of him shooting us out of the zone.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
And Reinhardt has
That's what I told you, Cody, when we talked about our power play setup on our last podcast or the one prior. You wanted Marchand in front of the net, which I get, or around the net.
I wanted Marchand in the Tkachuk.
If you bet it on the outside, he's missing those shots. You've got Marchand on the outside, Cody. He can zoom around and he can look and
I think they're forcing Bennett to be more of a finesse, skilled-oriented player.
That's not his game.
That's not his game. He's more of a straight line, hard-nosed, net front guy.
Yeah.
And I think Brad Marchand is a good option, obviously. One of the biggest things I will say is, number one, get Reinhardt taking every single face-off. I don't care how bad he is. He'll figure it out. Sam Bennett, we have years of sample size to know that's just he's not good in the face-off circle. That's number one. Number two, you need to have Brad Marchand enter the puck through the zone, or you're going to need to dump it in deep and go get the puck. I mean, that's just our best bet right now.
Well, just to jump in, why can't Reinhardt enter the zone?
Well, they can. He could do that too. I mean, again, it's just not the same. Aleksander Barkov. I mean, if you're there in person, watch it on TV. The puck sticks. It's glued to his stick. Huge. It's glued to his stick. I mean, it's not coming off of it, right? Stick checks, get a body on him. It doesn't matter. The puck's getting into the zone, right? It's such an underrated piece of his game. So I think you need to make those two adjustments. And again, forcing Bennett to be a more finesse, skill-oriented player when he's a straight line, hard-nosed net front guy. That's what makes him successful. We need to utilize him there. And there's a role for that on this power play. I think it's being, I don't think it's being used the best is how I'll say it. But they're scoring goals. So, I mean, they might not see a reason to change it, right? They're like, look, it's not the best, but it's working. So we're going to stick with it until it drives us nuts, and we got to change it.
And Cody, I think why it's working is look at the work Anton Lundell, Brad Marchand are doing in front of him.
Yeah. And the reason being is just like, and why I want Reinhardt in that spot is it's just Bennett, like he has a shot, but it's not accurate enough. And I don't think he's that great of a passer already.
And I don't like him holding the puck and like, again, skill-oriented, requiring patience and stuff. Like, no, like that's not been his game. Get his ass to the net, drive the net, get in front of there, get to the loose pucks. Don't make him wait and look and scan the ice and try to do all these things. That's not his game.
Yeah,
that's what Barkov and Tkachuk and that's not Bennett. And
but
it's just, I think Lundell's more suited to do that, but it's not Bennett. So if you want to use Bennett on power play
I just want to jump in. Great point on Lundell. He's able to, remember last year when he goes short angle side on the goalie when it's overtime and stuff, Lundell can do that.
Yeah,
he looks to see what's open.
Exactly. And I think, look, keep Bennett on power play 1 for now because it's working, but I think long term you're going to need to see adjustments in that particular area when it comes to faceoffs, zone entries, and how they're utilizing Bennett particularly.
But
it's not setting him up for success. It's not his fault. I mean, it's just that's not what he does. Like
he is what he is at this point, and
he is what it is. Get him in front of the net, get him driving to the net, get him in the corners, win those puck battles. That's what he needs to do.
But this
kind
is
of like the Zach Hyman role. We're going to need Bennett to play a Zach Hyman role on this power play.
Yeah, more of a lunch pail, Cody, than...
That's what I'm saying. Move him to the front of the net.
Skill base.
That's what I'm saying. Put him to the front of the net because all of his goals come within the blue paint. Like, that's just what Sam Bennett is at this point.
Hands in tight, too. Like, he could swat pucks in.
Like he has good hand-eye coordination. He could tip pucks in. He proved that already.
You saw the goal in 4 Nations in tight.
And he's a bigger body, more powerful guy who's not going to get shoved off the puck down there. Like, it's just kind of
he's going to go right to the goalie.
He might run into him, but
that also, Kirby, goes to the point what you were saying is like you got to get shots through, especially if we're going to have Bennett in front of the net, Reinhardt in the high slot, the double layer.
I think it's coming from Ekblad and Forsling a bit. I think Petrie's getting shots through. I think Jones is getting shots.
Jones is not shooting enough on the power play. That's one of the issues.
I like how his movement is and different things like that.
But he's not shooting. That's the Ekblad's taking most of the shots from the D on the power play, at least. We need more shots from Jones if that's what we're trying to do.
And we need a couple bombs unleashed.
Yeah, but Ekblad has one pretty good power play goal already. If that's something we can expect a bit more, then we can live with that.
Now, I think that got him going where he was a bit struggling. I liked his 5-on-5 play and his PK play. I think he was struggling on the power play too. Now he needs to bottle that and continue to do that because we're seeing that from Petrie. We're seeing that from Mackey on the second unit. I'm really liking the second unit. Verhaeghe.
Our second unit's always good because it's the most unscripted part. Like, our first power play unit, for some reason, is so scripted. We look for a certain play instead of certain players. Like,
and that hurts Reinhardt getting more opportunity when it's so scripted. Like, he wants to play off a bit of feel as well. Look how he played in that Philadelphia game. That was off the feel.
Listen, one of the craziest stats from last season is we won the Stanley Cup handedly, because really, besides Toronto, no one really gave us a fit. Like, not even really Edmonton. The one game we did, we kind of blew it.
It was a lot closer than people thought. The first 2 games, I think, was a lot closer than really people thought.
But after game 2, it was all 4.
Yeah, we blew a lead in game 4. I mean, that's an anomaly with us. But other than that, I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, we're right back up for game 5. Everybody thought the momentum swung. It did not at all. It wasn't even. It was shut down.
But Reinhardt didn't score a power play goal at any point in the postseason last year. That's the craziest stat, and we still won the Stanley Cup.
He led our team in goals, I think.
He was up there. No, Marchand led him. No, Bennett did. 15.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, then what was it? Oh, it was points. It was points that marked.
Yeah, it was him and Verhaeghe were tied.
For points?
Yeah, Verhaeghe had 23. He was tied for the team lead because he had like a bunch of apples because all the shots kept hitting Sam Bennett and just going in. But
guys, do you want to talk a little before we wrap here? PK, like
what more can we say?
Yeah,
I like how Luke Cunnin.
Shout out to Luke Cunnin. Yeah. Shout out to Luke Cunnin. I think a lot of guys needing to step up here. Obviously, without Barkov, Tomas Nosek a loss there too. heard that he may not be back for the rest of the season, but Luke Cunnin, really nice.
Off a loss on the PK and now going out long term here.
Yeah, but he's more of a loss if we have another injury on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, Petrie doesn't play penalty kill, so Jones is going to have to step up here, and he doesn't normally. Our top four is going to get a lot of minutes here early on, and
Forsley has to be huge as always.
But in my opinion, we have 3 guys who can minute munch. So we'll see, because Jones could play 25 minutes. Ekblad can. As Forsling can play up to 22 plus.
I don't have a problem dropping Ekblad down on the power play or whatever, because he's going to have to eat up a lot of PK minutes right now.
Yeah, but he can do it. He's Aaron Ekblad.
But I would rather him eat up PK minutes than power play. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean,
but here's the thing: you want to know what? You want to know why he's not eating up PP? Eating up PP and PK minutes? Because Jones needs to be better on the power play for him not to have those minutes. That's plain and simple.
I don't think he's been that bad.
But he hasn't been shooting enough. But Ekblad's been better than him on the power play.
But I don't think that's what they want. They don't want the defenseman to shoot.
Then you're going with a 4-1 system, right? I think they're trying to set him up in different things like that as well.
Yeah, but right now it's just on the power play. Ekblad's look good through these first 4.
Look at Sam Reinhart as always on the PK. He doesn't need Barkov out there. Look at that Philadelphia. Wow.
But we need to get.
I'm also really encouraged by Brad Marchand on the power play because again, you need a puck possession guy that can kind of dictate, the play and hold on to the puck, scan the ice. He's got the skill to do that. I've been really impressed with him on the half wall. I think that is a long-term solution this year when Tkachuk gets back is Marchand on the half wall.
And I want to give a shout-out to our goalies being the leader of the goalie union. Tarasov, even though he allowed whatever the goals, those were not on him. How he looked on the PK, really good.
Can we stop letting our backup goalies to drive? Like, why do we do that?
Like he made some real nice saves on Zegras there. Some of those one-timer opportunities.
No, he kept us in it.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with him. If he's not in the top 10 reasons we lost last night, top 12, and he's not anywhere near the problem.
We have a question later on him.
Can we be real? Can we stop leaving our backup goalies to drive? We did it with Knight last year to start the year. Vanacek, it didn't help him either. I know, people want to say he wasn't that great, but look at the games.
Who's saying he wasn't that great?
I mean, you.
What?
But we left him out to dry. I mean, come on.
Thank you, Vitek Vanacek. You're a Stanley Cup champion.
I was watching those games, Nick. Where you
he was watching those games. He was getting left out to dry. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, he didn't do himself any favors.
And Tarasov's been getting lit up since preseason. So I mean, that Carolina game will always be in my memory.
47 saves, but yeah, but I think they limited the shots that the Flyers put on him, and that was an interesting start, guys, because we talked about this back-to-back coming up. What did Armando say, Cody, when he came by? We have how many back-to-backs coming?
16?
14, I think he said.
14
right?
or 16, something like that.
And we got a bunch before the holidays, I think. Was it 4 of them or 5 of them?
And
we
our
played
home
1 o'clock.
road,
We played 1 o'clock on Buffalo, and
our home to road
on Thursday night with travel. So
yeah,
I mean, you really think about it. It's not. It's again, it is what it is. You can't complain about the schedule. I mean,
every team's going to go through.
Every team goes through it. Montreal, I believe, leads the league with 16 back-to-backs. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or is it 23? I don't remember, but they.
Yeah, but how many of those are inter-province back-to-backs with Ottawa and Toronto?
Yeah, but we usually had the Tampa back-to-backs, right? So I understand, right?
Cody's pulling Vancouver and Florida card out with the travel. It does matter.
Yeah, it's just the Panthers are always one of the most traveled teams in the NHL.
Geographically, that's how it is. Seahawks in the NFL, right?
Dallas too.
It's just where they're at.
It's Seahawks. Dolphins are in the same issue too, depending on what division they get. And then,
when you have to play every team
in baseball, it's the Marlins every year because bottom right and the Mariners.
I will never forget that first year schedule. Paul Maurice's first year, that was the weirdest schedule I've ever seen.
This year's going to be weirder because our home to road splits from the first half to the second half are horrible.
We have a ton of home games in the first half, right?
Yeah, and then we have 10 in the second half.
Yeah, I
we never used to get the home dates back in the day when the Panthers.
Kirby, maybe you wouldn't have to wear that beanie in March when you go to the Panther Calgary game.
No, I think it should be warm, but I think it's March.
You should be used to it. You won't see Barkov again for the fourth.
I'll wear his jersey.
I'm upset. We don't have the yearly Barkov out 4, 5, 6 game injury, the Barkov sickness.
We need him back. We need him back. So hopefully he can come back for the playoffs. I've heard a lot of different takes on that.
There's not one singular consistent take with this.
You're not going to know right now. It's just too early to tell.
The only thing I can hope is he taps into his Russian side and says, Russian machine, don't break. Basically it. But before we continue any further, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Caneswear.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
Another word from our other sponsor, Jeremy Beckham with Next Home Treasure Coast. Hey, Panther fans in South Florida need real estate up? Check out Jeremy Beckham with Next Home Treasure Coast. It's a boutique service with a personal touch. Jeremy's team put humans over houses, working hard for you, whether you're buying or selling. Ready to move? Hit up BeckSellsFLA.com or call 772-475-5371 now. You'll be glad you did. And once again, just a reminder, with the Jeremy Beckham and Cats and Rats podcast collaboration, remember we are also still running the Saturday competition all season long, every Saturday game. As you can see on the screen here, once again, you must be following both KJ Loops and at BeckSellsFLA on X. Every Saturday you get to pick a player once during the season, but you can only pick each player once, and those players will be up for a scoring output. So, for example, if your player scores a hat trick, you get 5 points. 2 goals is 2 points. 1 goal is 1 point, and the points will be tallied up at the end of the year with the first 3 people getting these prizes. First place will receive a Fanatics breakaway jersey. Second place, a Fanatics $50 gift card, and third place, a Fanatics $25 gift card. Any referrals to Jeremy will include any additional prize. So once again, shout out to BeckSellsFLA, and hopefully we continue this. And we have another contest, boys, on the way. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yes. But Nick, before you jump in there, I just want to give a congrats to Decker. He won our Eetu Luostarinen JSA certified signed pitcher. We have more coming up and signed pucks as well, right, Nick?
Yes, we do. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you are subscribed here on YouTube. And our future giveaway, we're going to be giving away 2 club level tickets, club section of 33, for the October 28th game against I believe it's the Anaheim Ducks. Yes, it is. Anaheim Ducks club level section 33. Obviously, to enter the contest, clearly you have to be a local unless you want to get them for somebody else. I don't know. I mean, get them as a gift or something, or attempt to. But you must rate us 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, and then DM that screenshot showing the review to Kirby or our Instagram page, and that is listed right here below. Kirby will tweet it out. As always, make sure you follow the rules, please. We beg you. And we really appreciate all the support. We're going to be giving a lot of other similar giveaways too. This won't be the only ticket giveaway we do this year. And we'll also be doing memorabilia giveaways, as Kirby mentioned. So if you don't win, don't be too upset. We're going to be giving away a lot more stuff in the coming months.
Thank you, Nick. And I want to mention to our audio audience that hasn't been listening to us over on the YouTube channel side, you got to subscribe, turn your notifications on, but they're hearing this contest for the first time. So we're looking forward to those Apple and Spotify listeners. Register for this contest because we're going to draw the winner shortly here.
Yep, I believe the winner will probably be announced this Saturday on Cats and Rats.
I would like to do that, yeah. As soon as
and then also send your personal information so you can receive the tickets to Kirby. So we are able to get in contact with you to send you the tickets.
Yes. I'm getting more right now on the Instagram DM side than I am on the Twitter X side. So again, if you're more of a Facebook person or not a social media person, you probably should have an X or an Instagram. If not, make an account and then make sure you send and register, and you'll be entered into.
Anyway, but Kirby, we have the Cats and Rats Community Q A.
Yeah, we got some in the Founding Fathers folder there. If you want to pull that up. We got a few questions. I got it out really late tonight, so my apologies there. We got a few questions before we wrap. Matthew also asked, I don't know if he put it in there, but he wanted our thoughts on Tarasov, so that's why I said hold off.
Yep.
But yeah.
All right, let's see.
You can just read.
Our first question is from our boy Chris at Chris_crosscheck here. Are the Panthers going to have to max effort just to get through the season?
As opposed to coasting? Is that the theory? We coast? I mean, you're not going to be able to coast anymore. You don't have the talent to do it. So, I think you're going to have to approach it like every other NHL team approaches NHL seasons. And as Kirby says, get into the playoffs. Well, that's 80% of the battle right there. So, yeah.
It just truly depends on what our outlook is when certain guys come back. Because, like I said, we're banking wins right now, which is a really good thing to start this year, especially when you don't have certain guys in the lineup. Because remember, we're going to have Matthew Tkachuk back within like the next month or two or so, and it's just really dependent on how many wins you bank here in October, November here. Like, because if you're off to a really good start and you start something like, I don't know, 12-5-1 or something like that, or 12-4-2 or something like that, then maybe you can probably coast just a bit, maybe around, just like have like one kind of streak or whatever. But I don't want but as Nick said, we don't really necessarily have the talent to coast, nor do I want that to happen.
And I want to say, Cody, I think it's out of our hands too. You can have a good record and bank those points, but look at the division you're in right now and how these other teams are. Like I mentioned, if you guys haven't been listening, I think Montreal is going to get off to a great start and be first, second in the division. I didn't see this from the Bruins, but you're going to have these surprises. And I think Toronto, they're going to gather and get it together. Ottawa now without Brady Tkachuk. Tampa Bay, they're trying to find their game right now. Really low scoring games, a 1-goal type of games, but they're going to bank some points.
They are 1-2-1 as of this recording, losing today.
To Washington.
I think they
14th.
lost there like they did in the Ottawa game.
Yeah, it is. Again,
but I'm not counting them out of not.
And you take a look at early season, you got to bank these points, and it might look easy on the schedule. And when you look on paper, Bruins, Penguins, like these teams are playing well right now, right? And beginning of the season is a heck of a lot different than 2 months from now. So I mean, you're gonna have to be ready. I mean,
there are no easy games in October or November because every team feels like they have a chance to win. So I mean, because you don't know who's a bad team yet. Like there's
you kind of do, but you don't know.
Not really. No one. Boston was going to be a bad team in October, November. No one thought Nashville would either. So you don't necessarily know who the bad teams are and who the good teams are going to be because everyone thought Montreal was going to be kind of bad last year, but they ended up being a pretty good team.
And so we thought Ottawa would have been a tough matchup. Well, I mean, who knows what it looks like now.
And just to elaborate a little bit further on Chris's question there, I don't think you can coast with the talent that we have in the line. We have depth, but like when you're missing Matthew Tkachuk and Aleksander Barkov, there's no coast. And we just lost the defenseman in Kulakov, which I wanted to see our defense together for a substantial amount of time, and that's not the case anymore. So that's going to test the depth too. When we're going to talk about this in a podcast or two, we're going to be there with Linkus and Bjornfot and all these guys.
Oh gosh, don't say that other name.
Oh,
like it's
the next one up, right?
That's what they're saying.
Next one is from our boy Jimmy. When with the absence of Barkov / Shucky's ability to set up shots in the ozone, how important is it for Florida to improve at our rush game with Marchand, Magic on the top line? Like to start the year, I think our rush offense has been pretty good to start. We've had a couple 2-on-1 3s and 2s. The pass haven't connected quite yet, but I like the fact that we're generating those chances kind of consistently to start. But it's going to be important because, once you're in the zone, offense is going to be tough because, once again, the talent we're missing isn't just any old talent. We're missing top 20, 25 players in the NHL talent. Like, it's – what happened?
Top 10.
Like we're missing a
top 5.
In some people's opinion, we're missing a top 3 winger in the NHL.
And we're missing 5 center.
Top 4 center.
Top 4,
but
maybe top 3.
Not top 4. I can't do that.
For the entertainment, let's say top 3.
You could say that.
No, but again, I just don't
For
think
the content.
One of the things I was actually really worried about was our rush defense. I mean, that's what Toronto exploited last year in the second round. And when we were bad last year in March, and then when we're bad, we're giving the puck up. We're not connecting on our outlet passes. We are getting stuck in our own zone, kind of getting a little bit bullied. And then we're also we're turning the puck over a lot and getting beat in transition. And that stems from not connecting on outlet passes, other stuff like that. So I think in that regard, it was when it comes to rush chances was what I was most worried about. I think
But
when
we're
you
skating
have
well. We're skating well.
we're skating well, and I think we're going to be fine in there because again, it's a different game. Obviously, we're going to have to grind our opponents down some nights, but again, we have the talent. Marchand, Verhaeghe, Bennett in transition, right? I mean, there's talent there, and we're going to need the defensemen to join the rush and be aggressive, be active, which they always are, and they're not going to stop doing it. I think we'll be all right in that regard, though. But I'll look for that on the other side. Defensively is the part I'm going to be looking at mostly.
Anything on that, Kirby?
No, good. Yeah.
And these next two questions are kind of fun questions. I actually like this. Kind of opens up the gates a little bit for us, shall we? Diehard says, who is your favorite guest you guys have had on the podcast? I know my answer.
I think we should all have the same answer, right?
Like, if we're going player, Peter Worrell by far. Because for those who don't know, that podcast should have been around 20, 30 minutes. We had him for an hour, and it was like...
And we had technical difficulties on that one.
Yeah,
It gave us additional time.
And it was so much fun. Like, he was such a great guy. He's done a lot for youth hockey, especially helping out Nick not suck at hockey.
Yeah. He did a pretty damn good job, I think.
Yeah, especially in North Carolina, apparently. So,
yeah.
But
I'll give one. Let's stop different answers if we can. I'll go Doug McLean. Again, I grew up as an OG Panther fan. This is back in the newspaper days. He would be on the front of the Calgary Herald when the Panthers were going on the 96 run, front of the sports page, and to see that as a young boy and then be able to talk to him down the road. And a guy like Rod Peterson, shout out to Rod Peterson on the Cats and Bolts podcast, been a great guest here too. He's like, hey, Kirby, Doug McLean says to say hi. And I'm like, that's just so cool that like a coach that I grew up watching when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old cares what I'm doing and cares what we're doing on our brand.
Yeah,
and he's funny when he comes on.
And I like that he doesn't like Carolina as well. I like that.
I've enjoyed all of our interviews. Obviously, interviewing my former coach was kind of odd, to be completely honest with you. Doug McLean was really cool, like one of the nicest guys you'll ever talk to. I mean, an incredible guy. I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't mention Ryan Lomberg. I mean, that was pretty cool, right? But I think, honestly, for me, it was EJ Radek. I mean, again, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I grew up watching NHL Network. Story when I went to these hockey camps, these like day-long hockey camps, we'd go upstairs to the bar for like lunchtime or whatever, just we're waiting for the ice to be zambonied. They had to have NHL Network on, and I'd see EJ Radek there all the time, and then I turn it on at home, NHL Network, EJ Radek's there, and get him to actually interview him. Somebody who I've been watching. I don't mean to make him feel old, but pretty much since I was
we were kids, like
8-9 years old. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, and anytime they mention the Panthers, and regardless of
it was always when we were selling at the deadline, but
I'm like, they mentioned the Panthers, right? So I would say EJ Radek for sure. That was really cool. Another cool interview. And it was pretty cool to hear him talk about how much Ryan sucks at golf. I think that was my favorite part of it.
Like, the thing is with Radek is, like, my earliest memories of being a hockey fan was me, like, being up at, like, 6 a.m. or whatever, getting ready for school. And I had NHL, like, tonight or, like, on the fly on, like, watching all the highlights and them, like, kind of recapping everything. But, like, another guy I got to add, because Zach Phillips was another one.
Yes, Zach Phillips, yes.
Like, it's always so much fun when he hops on. One of the best guys. Like, if you dunk on Leaf fans, do not dunk on Zach. He's like one of the passionate ones, one of the ones like necessarily he's
bust his butt like we do on our post-game show. He's on after every game on the YouTube channel. Go watch it. Just watch it one night when the Leafs lose.
Win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw, he's on there. He's taking the heat. He's delivering up.
Yelling at him.
Thank you.
Of Zach. Here goes Zach, But he stands it with his convictions and what he believes. and he busts his hump, and he's a great. Listen to our preview show with the Leafs, and again, all these mentions of guests, you guys can catch up on these on Apple and Spotify and on our YouTube channel. I do want to add another one because Diehard's going to be so upset. Randy Moeller was great.
Randy Moeller, that's another one.
Strudwick was also another one.
Great. Diehard's going to be upset if we don't even mention.
But Randy Moeller might be up there with EJ Radek. There's just so many we've done. We've been blessed to do it, obviously. But Randy Moeller, that was probably the coolest conversation.
You guys don't know, but but off air, I was having technical difficulties setting up that day, and Randy was showing Nick and Cody first Stanley Cup ring.
It was really so cool. He's a funny guy. It was that was an awesome. EJ Radek, Randy Moeller probably tied for one.
Jason Strudwick, honorable mention too. That was our first.
I want to get Struddy on again. He's like, Kirby, I'm busy because they're always doing their Oilers shows and stuff like that.
That was our first kind of big guest. And
thank you to Diehard, by the way, for asking that question. That was a good question. I enjoyed that.
We're gonna try to get more on my bucket list. Is like guys like Darren Pang.
Holy jumping.
Right.
Love him between the benches. And then Chris Scott, the last question. This one's good. I'm going to probably steal this answer first. What was your favorite Panther trade of all time? I have two. I'm not including any of the ones from the last runs because that's too obvious. The Yager trade. And this is one people not going to probably be shocked. Mike Hoffman. That Mike Hoffman trade, I'll do it again every day of the week.
Say what that one was.
It was Mike Hoffman for a second and a seventh from San Jose because we wanted him for Ottawa, but Ottawa didn't want to trade him to us because we're in division. So they shipped him out to San Jose, and San Jose flipped him to us, and Ottawa was pissed. So
I was not doing content then, but I was a huge Hoffman guy. So you guys,
my favorite got to be for sure when we just traded Riley Smith to Vegas for nothing. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Okay,
that was my favorite.
I'll jump in. I'll add my favorite, Stu Barnes or whatever, to Pittsburgh.
Oh, for
Chris Wells. That was everyone. Don't kill me.
Yeah, for me, that's a tough one.
For me,
we never used to make a lot of trades. I would say the Luongo trade to bring him back.
Yes, I was going to.
That would probably be number one. Yager was pretty cool. The Tkachuk trade. That's a little bit more shocking.
That's insight when people were upset. I wanted Tkachuk.
And I think, you got to put Marchand and Tkachuk up there. But I would say Luongo, Yager.
Yeah.
Because, that I would say. I just want to add the David Booth trade to Vancouver. I was upset with that, but it actually worked out to be a W for the Panthers.
Yeah, because Mikhail Samuelsson was really good for us.
Kirby's favorite trade was...
I want to say.
Kirby told me his favorite trade was Luongo, but the first one, the one that brought Aleksander.
I knew exactly what he was going to say.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that one. I was so deep into my state.
But no,
Kirby, what are your thoughts on Aleksander?
Okay.
We got him from Vancouver in that. We got him from Vancouver in that trade, right?
Yeah, it was Aleksander, Todd Bertuzzi, and Brian
Allen, who was a bane of my existence as well with turnovers late.
No, but trade wise, I don't the Tkachuk trade was probably the most shocking trade I've seen from any of my teams.
But people that rate it their favorite, they're kind of lying themselves.
Marchand wasn't as shocking, right, Kirby?
It wasn't as shocking because we thought he was going to get moved.
Yeah,
I was on air for it, so I have a hard time
Let's just say this: the Tkachuk trade was more shocking for what we gave up because
we didn't think there was what are we going to give up?
Yeah, but we always rumored in it. We were always in every rumor. The Marchand one came out of nowhere. There was no rumor for that. No one even thought was Marchand could go to Florida. It was all Marchand to Vegas.
Well, maybe not everybody, clearly. Zito.
It was no, remember earlier in the day, Kirby, they're Marchand to Vegas. It's they were calling it a slam dunk or whatever.
Yeah.
And
we were on the air that day. You were in Nashville, all the way.
And I'll never forget. I'm sitting in a restaurant, and I'll never forget when that tweet popped up. Marchand to Florida possibility, and I was losing it.
Then Elliot got it on the desk there and told Kyle Bukakis off air.
What do you think Elliot did when he saw that text?
No, I think Elliot said he waited for 4, 5, 6 different sources to really say it because he really wasn't even sure.
But he said it to Kyle that it was happening before.
Yeah, and then that's when you got the reaction from Biz, BX, David Amber, all those guys. But
they were laughing before he was about to announce it.
Yeah, he was probably smart to wait for a couple people to text him. You can't just go off one guy.
No, but Elliott's the best insider when it comes to hockey because he's like, he dots his I's, crosses his T's.
Yeah.
Like other guys may get it first and sometimes, but I don't hear, if it's not from Elliott, I don't believe it.
Cody doesn't believe it when we tell him stuff that we hear, which has been happening to be true, right, Nick? When we say
but
I put the tweet out there, the Marchand one and Bennett. You don't have to believe it, but I had it out there.
I trust Drager.
Drager's pretty good. I like LeBron as well.
I like LeBron. I like Drager. If Bob McKenzie tweets it, I know it's real.
He was the best. I
can't though. The two I couldn't stand was Saravalli because of the Seattle expansion draft. And Pagnotta's just always wrong. Like
Cervelli said that we were going to get rid of Reinhardt or one of Reinhardt or Bennett or whatever.
That made no sense.
Or whatever it was.
To bring back Duclair. Like
I confirmed from my sources that ain't happening, Frank.
But what ended up happening, Hornquist went to LTIR, and that's how we got Duclair back. But it's just.
And I also reported back then Hornquist was going to be on the move to Seattle. So there was that possibility at one time to get a contract out of there.
Yeah, but he had like the NMC or whatever and didn't want to waive it. But that was his right. But but then again, I couldn't blame Zito for it because he didn't give him the NMC. And at the time, we needed to make a deal like that for a guy like that. So it's just so many trades. Like nowadays, it's just like the most trade that excited me the most was when Giroux came here. Was just because
that's Kirby's second favorite, right behind the Luongo first one.
But that was the first time I actually thought like, oh, we're actually going for it. Like that was the first time.
Cody felt like that. How I felt with the Bob free agent signing. That's kind of what I felt like. We're legit here now.
Yeah, and then he sucked for 2 years, but.
I don't blame Talon for it. I wanted him.
Oh no, I didn't blame Talon either. I'm like, well, then
we need a goalie. You know how I feel with the goaltending position going off from Luongo. And remember, I grew up watching.
There aren't many times where there's a two-time Vezina winner out there to go grab.
And whenever we've had a good goalie in net, it's always kind of set us up to be successful, which we haven't been. But it set us up.
Trades like Yager, Hoffman for me are up there. For Toronto's another underrated one. I love that deal.
Yeah,
because he brought something that we didn't have, and I thought Frankie V laid it out every night. Was scoring big goals all the time. Like he was captain clutch for Verhaeghe was and it's just like the Hornquist trade I loved because he got rid of Matheson. I didn't like we got rid of Sevier because I actually liked him, but I would have done it for Matheson.
Oh boy, these are names.
Listen, I'm just going through every trade in my head. I wish the Nudavara one worked out, but he just got hurt all the time.
My least favorite was when we got the defenseman from Buffalo. What's his name again?
Pesic?
No, the other one.
Hag?
No.
He's playing around.
Yeah.
Oh, Montour.
Looking good tonight against Montreal. But anyways, gentlemen, anything else as we wrap up here on episode number 60?
Jose Theodore.
Anything else? Plug anything?
No, I mean, once again, we have NHL After Dark this coming Saturday. Once again, after the Buffalo Sabres game, which we play at 1 p.m. for some reason.
We are planning live stream games coming up, so pay attention on that on our social media pages. We're planning one potentially next week. We're going to have like 1 or 2 a month. We're going to let that see how that marinates, how it works with the community. We have some people that want to come on as guests.
What day is that Boston game?
It's next Tuesday.
Ooh, I might be available for that one. You might see a guest.
We might be doing it for Brad Marchand's return, so stay tuned.
Might see me pop in there.
All right, sounds good.
But
not for too long though.
And we have memberships available now on our YouTube channel side. I want to say this, and super chat eligible. So we appreciate everyone giving back to the community, so we can keep running this independently. We appreciate everyone's support. No matter if it's $1 or $2, whatever it may be, from the community. We appreciate.
Hey, listen, at least hockey's back for all three of us because I can safely say all of us are out in football at this point. So
my fantasy team's cooking. I'm not talking about the Cats and Rats one. But
I am. I beat Cody 2 weeks ago, and I beat Nick.
I had a really tough loss, really bad week, but we're gonna bounce back. We're still good. Look, it's just you just got to make the postseason. Really doesn't matter what seed you are. Just got to keep going, keep trucking. Got to figure out some things.
You guys
What?
love NFL no matter what, or fantasy hockey league, Cats and Rats.
Fantasy football either makes you love the game of football or you hate it with all your guts and you never want to watch it again, and it ruins your Monday.
I love
it ruins
fantasy
your week.
hockey, but nothing beats fantasy football. Like, there's just nothing like it.
Nothing's more depressing, though. Sunday night, your team loses. You got work, school the next morning, and you lost in fantasy. And not like a close loss. Like, you got killed. It was like you put up like 55 points. Like, nobody was doing good.
But anyway, we once again appreciate you guys for watching. Once again, rate us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. Like and subscribe on the YouTube. And in the comments down below, what was your favorite trade from the Panthers, history of the Panthers? Let's hear them. I mean, there's probably trades we're not thinking about. So, but anyway, thank you for joining us, and always for Kirby, Nick, and myself. We say goodbye. And as always, let's go Cats.
What's up, Cats and Rats fans? If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button before you head out. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And just like always, let's go Cats.